What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. I'm Operation DX, and today we're going to be checking out Kerbal Space Program 0.90. Yes, this video is really late. I intended to release it earlier in the week, but things got in the way. So yeah, we had a big version jump, 0.25 to 0.90, which means that development for Kerbal Space Program is pretty much going to be wrapping up soon, which is insane. This game has made a lot of progress over the years, and the latest release is a pretty big update. It does a lot of cool stuff for the career mode and science mode of Kerbal Space Program. Clearly, one of the big upgrades to 0.90 is what you see going on in the video here, where we can upgrade our buildings around the launch center. And this isn't just a cosmetic thing, this actually has gameplay elements to it. For example, if you don't have an upgraded launch pad, you can only launch so heavy of rockets. And then if you don't upgrade the tracking station, you can't see some of your orbit lines. Things like that. Kerbals in career mode can now gain experience into different categories. So if you want a Kerbal that is a scientist or better at doing science, you can gear him towards that. You can have him be a better pilot or engineer, that sort of thing. I think that's actually a really cool element and adds a lot to gameplay. I also thought it was a nice touch that some of the other buildings outside of the VAB and the space plane hangar, when you go inside and upgrade some of these buildings, you can see that their background gets upgraded too, and even though they're just kind of images, it's a nice touch. Admittedly, I've been ignoring career mode for the most part and just playing sandbox stuff and just checking out mods, and it seems like a lot of stuff has been added here to where I'm gonna have to just take a look a little more deeply and see all the stuff that's been added to it with all the contracts and all that stuff. It seems actually really cool at this point. Biomes have been added to every planet in Kerbal Space Program, and now there is a lot of different locations to collect that science. Also, the mod Fine Print has actually been incorporated into Kerbal Space Program, giving more purpose to the contracts and adds a lot of gameplay elements. The creator of Space Plane Plus, a mod that got incorporated into the last version of Kerbal Space Program, has created some additional parts, the MK3 Plane parts, which are pretty cool as well. Even though personally I'm a big fan of having very large aircrafts flying around Kerbin, the game doesn't really deal very well with heavy craft. You almost have to have a mod like Far or Near installed to make this work properly. The part editor in 0.90 got an overhaul, and they've actually done some really fantastic things with this. Not only can we now break parts into different categories, which isn't really a huge deal for the core game itself, I never really had problems finding parts. But this is going to be especially helpful for mods. But you can break them into all kinds of different categories, including creating your own custom categories, which is really nice. Of course, you can build craft in the editor just like you're used to. That part really hasn't changed, but they have added some really powerful tools that make building craft a lot easier and more intuitive. So if your wing design is bad and you need to move and change the center of mass, you can use the offset tool and just slide things around. It makes it really easy. Or you can use the rotation tool and say your craft is a little bit heavy and it won't take off. You can tilt the wings back to create a little more lift, that sort of thing. It's really powerful. Another nice thing about the MK3 parts is we can build a proper heavy shuttle design. It doesn't take too many parts to build something that can get up into orbit. Of course, you have to build something a little more elaborate to get it around to other planets, but just for a simple shuttle design, I really like these parts. One of my favorite new additions to 0.90 is, well, I guess you could call it a pseudo autopilot. It's not really, but we have these additional buttons on the left side of the nav ball. And what these do is you can click on them and it will have the craft point in that direction. So when you're in orbit, you can set it to go normal, anti-normal, radial, anti-radial, prograde, retrograde, that sort of thing. Another really cool thing is when you create a maneuver node, you can actually hit the button to lock onto that and it'll automatically point your craft in that direction, which is super, super awesome. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. I'm going to have to dig a little deeper in career mode and see what all of this new stuff does. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Have a great day and take care.